Dear students, today I am going to discuss about the yesterday class, continuation of the yesterday class, that is series. In this series we have to do one example 2, that is sigma n by n square plus 3. Calculate the value of sigma n by n square plus 3. So what is given? Let an is equal to n by n square plus 3. Therefore, what about an plus 1? If an is equal to n by n square plus 3 means, therefore an plus 1 is equal to, substitute n plus 1 instead of n, that is n plus 1 by n plus 1 whole square plus 3, that is equal to n plus 1 by n square plus 2n plus 4. So we need to find an plus 1 by an. We know the an plus 1 and an. So an plus 1 is equal to n plus 1 by n square plus 2n plus 4, and an means n square plus 3 by n. Now simplifying, we got n into 1 plus 1 by n square into 1 plus 3 by n square by n square into 1 plus 2 by n plus 4 by n square into n. This is equal to, here n gets cancelled and n square gets cancelled. We got only 1 plus 1 by n into 1 plus 3 by n square by 1 plus 2 by n plus 4 by n square. Therefore, limit an plus 1 by an is equal to what? We got 1 only, because 1 by n tends to 0 and 3 by n tends to 0, 2 by n tends to 0 and 4 by n. 1 by 1 we got 1 only. So, root test or ratio test, it gives no information. So, n square plus 3 is less than or equal to n square plus 3n square. This is true for all n greater than or equal to 1. And we continue of this slide. 1 by n square plus 3 greater than or equal to 1 by 4n square. Already what is previous slide? Previous slide is n square plus 3 is less than or equal to n plus 3n square. We take the reciprocal of this inequality, that is 1 by n square plus 3 is greater than or equal to 1 by 4n square. Here that is, this implies 1 by n square plus 3 greater than or equal to n by 4n square, and this is equal to n gets cancelled, we got 1 by 4n. Since sigma 4n diverges, because by comparison test sigma 4n is diverges, and sigma n by n square plus 3 also diverges. By 1 by 4n diverges by p test, and here by n by n square plus 3 by using comparison test, sigma n by n square plus 3 is diverges. Take the another example 3, that is sigma 1 by n square plus 1 is convergent or divergent. So use comparison test, you can find out this problem. Here this is homework for you. And sigma, take another example, sigma n by 3 power n. Solution, an is equal to n by 3 power n. Therefore, limit of mod an whole power 1 by n is equal to limit of n power 1 by n by 3 is equal to 1 by 3 less than 1. Here n power 1 by n is, what is the value of n power 1 by n? That is equal to n root n. N root n is, what is the value of n root n? Is equal to 1. Therefore, limit of n power 1 by n by 3 is equal to what? 1 by 3. So 1 by 3, what is the value? This is less than 1 only. Hence, by root test, sigma an is converges. According to root test, sigma n less than 1, sigma n is less than 1, that is converges. Sigma n is equal to, or limit of n is equal to 1, that is diverges. Continue the next slide. Here hence by root test sigma n is converges. Sigma an, example 5, sigma an where an is equal to 2 by minus 1 whole power n minus 3. Solution, mod an whole power 1 by n. According to root test, mod an whole power 1 by n is equal to mod of 2 by minus 1 whole power n minus 3 is equal to 1 if n is even, 1 by 2 if n is odd. So we need to find alpha is equal to limit supreme of mod an whole power 1 by n is equal to 1. So root test or ratio test, it gives no information when alpha is equal to 1. Also an is equal to 1 for all even n. Limit an not equal 0, sigma an is diverges only. So here an is equal to 2 by minus 1 whole power n minus 3 is diverges. Example 6. Determine which of the following series converges. A. Sigma n power 4 by 2 power n. B. N x power n, 2 power n by n factorial. And C. Sigma n square by 3 power n. D. n factorial by n power 4 plus 3. E. Sigma n is equal to 2 to infinity 1 by log n. And F. Sigma cos square n by n square only. Here we need to solve solution of A, that is sigma n power 4 by 2 power n. Let an is equal to n power 4 by 2 power n. What is the limit of an whole power mod n? An is equal to n power 4 by 2 power n, and limit of mod an whole power 1 by n. Limit of mod an whole power 1 by n is equal to, continue the next slide, that is limit of nth root n whole power 4 by 2 is equal to, nth root n is what? The value of nth root n is equal to 1. 1 power 4 means that is 1, and limit of 1 by 2 is equal to what? 1 by 2. That is equal to, that is less than 1 only. 1 by 2 is less than 1. This is true. Hence by root test, less than 1 means that is convergence. Hence by root test, sigma an is converges only. So solution B, sigma 2 power n by n factorial. Let an is equal to 2 power n by n factorial, and an plus 1 is equal to 2 power n plus 1 by n plus 1 factorial. That is equal to 2 power n into 2 by n plus 1 into n factorial. And that is, we need to find an plus 1 by an is equal to 2 power n into 2 by n plus 1 into n factorial into n factorial by 2 power n is equal to 2 by n plus 1. Now simplifying this, we get 2 by n by 1 plus 1 by n is equal to 0. So finally limit of mod an plus 1 by n is equal to what? 0 only. Therefore limit of supreme of mod an plus by n is equal to what? 0. That is 0 is less than 1. Less than 1 means it is converges only. Therefore by ratio test, sigma an converges. Now solution C, sigma n square by 3 power n. Use root test, you can find this value. Now continue the next slide. That is n square, sigma n square by 3 power n is, we are using root test, you can find this one. And D, sigma n factorial by n power 4 plus 3. Let an is equal to n factorial by n power 4 plus 3. We have limit mod an plus 1 by an is equal to 1. Hence ratio test or root test, it gives no information. That means we know the n factorial greater than or equal to 2 power n minus 1 for every n greater than or equal to 1. And the reciprocal of this inequality is written as or multiply both sides multiplied by n square plus 3. n factorial by n square plus 3 greater than or equal to 2 power n minus 1 by n square plus 3. This implies this is written as 2 power n minus 1 by n square plus 3 is less than or equal to n factorial by n square plus 3. Let bn is equal to 2 power n minus 1 by n square plus 3. What about bn plus 1? So bn plus 1 is equal to 2 power n by n plus 1 whole square plus 3. Now simplifying, we need to find bn plus 1 by bn, that is equal to 2 power n by n plus 1 whole square plus 3 into n square plus 3 by 2 power n minus 1. Now simplifying, we get 2 into 1 plus 3 by n square by 1 plus 1 by n whole square plus 3 by n square. Here taking n square is common from numerator and also denominator. So we got this value, that is equal to 2 into 1 plus 3 by n square by 1 plus 1 by n whole square plus 3 by n square. Take the next slide. Therefore limit of mod bn plus 1 by bn. So what is the value? That is 2 by 1 plus 0 is equal to 2. 2 is greater than 1. 2 is greater than 1, it is diverges. Therefore limit of infima of mod bn plus 1 by bn greater than 1 means, hence by ratio test sigma bn is diverges only. Since sigma bn is plus infinity and bn is less than or equal to an for all n, then sigma n is positive infinity by comparison test. Therefore sigma n is also diverges only. So we need to find solution E, that is sigma cos square n by n square. We know that cos square n is less than or equal to 1. This implies cos square n by n square is less than or equal to 1 by n square. Here cos square n is less than or equal to 1. We are multiplying both sides by or dividing both sides by n square, that is written as cos square n by n square is less than or equal to 1 by n square. We know that sigma 1 by n square is converges by p test. By comparison test, cos square n by n square is also converges because 1 by n square is converges by p test only. That is we have written here. We know cos square n is less than or equal to 1. Cos square n by n square is less than or equal to 1 by n square. Since sigma 1 by n square is converges by p test by comparison test, therefore sigma cos square n by n square is also converges. Solution of f, sigma n is equal to 2 to infinity 1 by log n. Given sigma n is equal to 2 to 1 by log n, that is we know that log n less than n for all n. Therefore 1 by log n greater than 1 by n for all n. Log n less than n. Take the reciprocal of these values, that is 1 by log n greater than 1 by n for all n. Since sigma 1 by n diverges by p test, sigma 1 by n is diverges by p test only. By comparison test, sigma 1 by n is diverges. Therefore sigma 1 by log n also diverges by comparison test only, comparing the sigma 1 by n. If sigma 1 by n diverges, sigma 1 by log n is also diverges, because by using comparison test this is diverges only. Determine which of the following series converges. Justify your answers. This is your homework example. You have to do yourself only. And take the another example. Show that if sigma an and sigma bn are converges. Show that if sigma an and sigma bn are convergent series of non-negative numbers, then sigma root an bn converges. Proof. Since an greater than or equal 0 and bn greater than or equal 0 for all n, an square plus bn square plus an bn greater than or equal 0, an plus bn whole square minus an bn greater than or equal 0. So an plus bn whole square greater than an plus bn whole square minus an bn, an into bn greater than or equal 0. So an plus bn whole square greater than or equal to an bn. So squaring on both sides, root taken root on both sides, that is root an bn less than or equal to an plus bn for all n. Square ki root cancel ayyindi ikkada. So since sigma n and sigma bn are converges, therefore sigma n, the sum of an plus bn also converges. So by comparison test, sigma root an bn converges. Continue the next slide. example, if we have seen that it is often a lot harder to find the value of the infinite sum to the sum than to show it is exist. Here are some examples are there. Calculate sigma n is equal 1 to infinity 2 by 3 whole power n. Calculate sigma n is equal 1 to infinity 2 by 3 whole power n. Sigma n is equal 1 to infinity minus 2 by 3 whole power n. Prove sigma n is equal 1 to infinity 1 by n into n plus 1 is equal to 1. And prove sigma n is equal 1 to infinity n minus 1 by 2 power n plus 1 is equal to 1 by 2. And calculate sigma n is equal to 1 to infinity n by 2 power n. First take the solution of A, that is sigma n is equal to 1 to infinity 2 by 3 whole power n is a geometric series with first term is 2 by 3 and common ratio is 2 by 3. So now find sum of the geometric series here. Since mod r is equal to 2 by 3 is less than 1. The sum of the series is formula of the sum of the series is geometric series is a by 1 minus r. Here a is known and r is known. So substituting these values in this formula, we got 2 by 3 by 1 minus 2 by 3 is equal to 2 only. And similarly sigma n is equal to 1 to infinity minus 2 by 3 whole power n. We know the a is minus 2 by 3 and r is equal to minus 2 by 3. The sum of this series is equal to a by 1 minus r, that is minus 2 by 3 by 1 minus plus 2 by 3 is equal to what? Minus 2 by 5. And simplifying another example, let an is equal to 1 by n into n plus 1. And what is Sn? The sum of the nth terms, sum of all nth terms, that is equal to Sn, that is a1 plus a2 plus 1 plus an. So if n is equal to 1, that is equal to 1 by 1 into 2. If n is equal to plus, that is 1 by 2 into 3. If n is equal to 3, that is equal to 1 by 3 into 4 and so on like this. So we got this series. Here what is this series here? This is 1 by 1 into 2 can be written as 1 minus 1 by 2. And also 1 by 2 into 3 is also written as 1 by 2 minus 1 by 3. And similarly we can write it as all terms of this one. And that is in general term 1 by n minus 1 by n plus 1. Now here second and third terms are same. One is positive and another one is negative. And similarly we can all these terms are gets cancelled. So we have only first and last terms are there. That is first term is 1 and last term is 1 by n plus 1 only. Therefore limit of Sn is equal to limit n tends to infinity 1 minus 1 by n plus 1 is equal to what? 1 only. So therefore the sum of the series sigma n is equal to 1 to infinity n is equal to 1 only. And we have to do the example C, that is let an is equal to n minus 1 by 2 power n plus 1 nth partial sums. We know the nth partial sums Sn, that is a1 plus a2 plus a3 plus so on an. So according to that nth partial sums, we have written as the given series an is equal to 0 plus, for n is equal to 1, that is 0, n is equal to 1 by 2 cube, n is equal to 3, 2 by 2 power 4 and so on like this. And continue the next slide. And this is written as limit n tends to infinity Sn is equal to, the right side part is 1 by 2 cube plus 1 by 2 power 4 plus 1 by 2 power 5 and so on like this. Here this series can be divided into 3 different series, that is 1 by 2 cube plus 1 by 2 power 4 plus 1 by 2 by 5 and plus so on, and plus 1 by 2 power 4 plus 1 by 2 power 5 plus 1 by 2 power 6 and so on, plus 1 by 2 power 5 plus 1 by 2 power 6 plus 1 by 2 power 7 plus and so on. Here these three are in the form of geometric series. Here find the sum of the all geometric series, that is equal to 1 by 2 cube is common from first series, and 1 by 2 power 4 is common from second series, and 1 by 2 power 5 is common from third series, and so on like this. So 1 by 2 cube into, here what is first term? 1, and common ratio is 1 by 2. So a by 1 minus r, that is 1 by 2 cube into 1 by 1 minus r, means here 1 by 2 plus, and second series also 1 by 2 power 4 is common, and remaining terms are 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 square and so on. Here first term is 1 and common ratio is 1 by 2. So sum to infinity of infinity terms of GP is equal to a by 1 minus r, that is equal to 1 by 2 power 4 into 1 by 1 minus 1 by 2. In similar we can do the third geometric series. And 1 by 2 cube into, simplifying we got 1 by into 2 plus 1 by 2 power 4 into 2 and 1 by 2 by 4 into 2, that is and so on like this. Here 2 by 2 cube plus 2 by 2 power 4 plus 2 by 2 power 5 and so on. Here 2 is common from all terms, and 2 into 1 by 2 cube plus 1 by 2 power 4 plus 1 by 2 power 5 and so on, and we got 2 into, and this is also on geometric series, and first term is the 1 by 2 cube and common ratio is the 1 by 2. So find the sum to infinity of infinity terms of GP, that is equal to 2 into 1 by 2 cube by a by 1 minus r, means 2 into 1 by 2 cube by 1 minus 1 by 2, that is equal to 4 into 1 by 8, that is also equal to 1 by 2. So continue the next slide. Here sigma n is equal to 1 to infinity n by 2 power n is equal to 2 into sigma n is equal to 1 to infinity n minus 1 plus 1 by 2 power n plus 1, and this is equal to, separating this sigma value notation values, this fraction, and this is written as sigma n is equal to 1 to infinity n minus 1. Here n by 2 power n can be added and subtracted by 1, and that is written as 2 into sigma n is equal to 1 to infinity n minus 1 plus 1 by 2 power n plus 1, and 2 into sigma n is equal, here separate the sigma for the fraction n minus 1 by 2 power n plus 1 plus 1 by 2 power n plus 1, that is written as 2 into sigma n is equal to 1 to infinity n minus 1 by 2 power n plus 1 plus sigma n is equal to 1 to infinity 1 by 2 power n plus 1. Here here that is also written as, this is here the value we know, we already known about the, this is the value of this series, already we have found before this, and the value of this one is equal to 1 by 2, and this is one geometric series. Here first term is the 1 by 4 and common ratio is the 1 by 2. So now simplifying this one, we got 2 into this value is 1 by 2, and 2 into 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4 by 1 minus 1 by 2, this is equal to 2 into 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2, that is equal to 2. So given sigma an is convergent series, given sigma an is convergent series, limit an is equal to 0. Here we take another example. Therefore for each epsilon greater than 0 there exists a number capital N such that n greater than or equal to capital N. This implies mod an minus 0 less than epsilon. In particular, if you take epsilon is equal to 1, mod n less than 1 for all n greater than or equal to capital N. Continue the next slide. Here integral test are there. What is integral test? Here statement is there. F is a decreasing function such that f of x is greater than or equal to 0 for x greater than or equal to 1, and f of n is equal to n for all n belongs to capital N. Then the series sigma an and the integral 1 to infinity f of x dx converge or diverge together. Sigma an and the integral 1 to infinity f of x dx converge or diverge together. Proof. Let R be a positive integer. We choose the x as that x is lies between r to r plus 1, and that is written as r plus 1 greater than or equal to x greater than or equal to r. And if f is decreasing function, then you can write as This implies f of r plus 1 is less than or equal to f of x less than or equal to f of r. And ar plus 1, f of r plus 1, here f of n is defined as an. In similar way, we can write it as f of r plus 1 is written as ar plus 1, f of x is written as ax, and f of r is written as ar. Here ar plus 1, f of r plus 1 is equal to ar plus 1 less than or equal to f of x less than or equal to f of r means ar. So ar plus 1, we take the integral to the all terms, integration of the all terms, that is written as integral r to r plus 1 ar plus 1 dx is less than or equal to integral r to r plus 1 f of x dx less than or equal to integral r to r plus 1 ar dx. So what is integration of here? We have do integration with respect to x only. So ar plus 1 into integration of dx means x. Here what is upper and lower limit? R plus 1 r. So r plus 1 minus r and less than or equal to integral r to r plus 1 f of x dx written as same as the above is less than or equal to ar into here integration of the dx, that is x. Here x, substitute the upper and lower limits in x, that is r plus 1 minus r. We got the r plus r minus r gets cancelled. Here also r minus r gets cancelled. We got the continue next slide. Okay, previous slide we have seen again. Previous slide. What is previous slide here? R plus 1 to r. Here ar plus 1 less than or equal to integral r to r plus 1 f of x dx is less than or equal to ar. This is there. And also we have seen putting r is equal 1, 2, 3 so on n in equation 1. What is the left side part here? Here r is equal to 1, that is a2, r is equal to 3, r is equal to 2, that is a3, r is equal to 3, a4 and so on like this one. R is equal to n, that is equal to an plus 1. What is the middle part? If r is equal to 1, that is integral 1 to 2 f of x dx, and r is equal to 2 to 3 f of x dx and so on like this. And what is the right side part? If r is equal to 1, that is a1, r is equal to a2, r is equal to 3, a3 and so on, r is equal to n, that is n. Now adding all these terms, all these inequalities. So left side part is a1, a2 plus a3 so on an plus 1 is less than or equal to. Middle part is integral 1 to 2 f of x dx plus integral 2 to 3 f of x dx plus and so on. Integral n to n plus 1 f of x dx is less than or equal to. Right side part is a1 plus a2 plus so on plus an. What is the right side part? a1 plus a2 plus so on an. Here what is Sn? Sn is equal to a1, a2 so on plus an. In similar here an is missing, left side part. An is missing. So up to n plus 1 terms are there, a2 to n plus 1. This is written as Sn plus 1 minus 1. You can write as the above series can be written as Sn plus 1 minus a1 is less than or equal to integral 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4 up to so on n to n plus 1 is there. So adding all these terms you can write it as sigma n is equal to 1 to infinity or 1 to integral 1 to n plus 1 f of x dx is less than or equal to. Right side part is a1 plus a2 plus a3 plus so on plus n is equal to, that is equal to Sn. Taking the limits as n tends to infinity, therefore limit n tends to infinity, Sn plus 1 minus an less than or equal to integral 1 to infinity f of x dx is less than or equal to limit to n tends to infinity Sn. So that is written as sigma n is equal to 1 to infinity an minus a1 and less than or equal to integral 1 to infinity f of x dx is less than or equal to sigma n is equal to 1 to infinity an. Case 1. If integral 1 to infinity f of x dx is converges, then integral 1 to infinity f of x dx is equal to, we are considered as capital I, fixed number, then sigma an minus a1 is less than or equal to I, sigma an less than or equal to I plus a1 is equal to finite, then sigma an is converges. Case 2. If 1 to integral 1 to infinity f of dx diverges, then integral 1 to infinity f of dx must be equal to infinity. So sigma n is must be greater than or equal to infinity only. Continue to the next slide. Case 2. If integral 1 to infinity f of dx is diverges, integral 1 to infinity f of x dx is diverges, then integral 1 to infinity f of dx is what? Infinity. Sigma n is greater than or equal to infinity. Therefore, sigma n is equal to infinity. Then sigma n is diverges. Problem. Show that the series sigma n is equal to 1 to infinity 1 by n power p converges if p greater than 1 and diverges if p lies between 0 to 1. Here, let an is equal to 1 by n power p, that is equal to f of n, and this is written as in terms of x, that is f of x is equal to 1 by x power p. If f of x is greater than 0 for all x greater than or equal to 1 and x less than y, this implies x power p less than y power p. This implies 1 by x power p greater than 1 by y power p. And this is written as 1 by x power p what? F of x, and 1 by y power p, that is equal to y by f of y. That means this implies f of x is greater than f of y only. Therefore, f of x is what? Decreasing sequence. So the integral test is applicable. If it is decreasing, integral test is applicable. So case 1, when p not equal to 1. When p not equal to 1, integral 1 to infinity f of x dx. Integral 1 to infinity f of x dx is written as integral 1 to n, not 1 to infinity, integral 1 to n f of x dx is written as integral 1 to n f 1 by x power p dx is written. What is integration of 1 by x power p? And that is written as 1 by x power p, or this is also written as x power x minus p plus 1 by minus p plus 1. That is integration of 1 by x power p. And that is also written as 1 by 1 minus p into n minus 1 power p, n power 1 minus p minus 1. Therefore, integral 1 to infinity f of x dx is equal to limit n tends to infinity 1 by 1 minus p into n power 1 minus p minus 1. And this is also written as limit n tends to infinity 1 by p minus 1. Minus is common from all terms. 1 by p minus 1 into minus of minus 1 plus 1, and n power 1 minus p written as minus of 1 by n power p minus 1. Subcase 1 here. If p greater than 1, this implies p minus 1 is positive, so that limit n tends to infinity 1 by n power p and n power p minus 1 is equal to 0. Therefore, integral 1 to infinity f of x dx is equal to what? 1 by p minus 1 is finite. Therefore, this implies integral 1 to infinity f of x dx is convergent. Hence, sigma n is convergent. Subcase 2. When p lies between 0 to 1, that is 1 minus p is positive, so that limit n tends to infinity 1 by n power p minus 1 is equal to limit n tends to infinity limit n tends to infinity n power 1 minus p is equal to what? Infinity only. So, integral 1 to infinity f of x dx is equal to 1 by p minus 1 into 1 minus infinity equal to what? Minus infinity. Therefore, integral 1 to infinity f of x dx is diverges, and hence sigma an is also diverges only. Case 2, when p is equal to 1. When p is equal to 1, f of x is equal to what? 1 by x. And integral 1 to infinity f of x dx is written as integral 1 to n 1 by x dx. What is integration of 1 by x? Integral 1 by x dx is equal to log x, and upper and lower limits are n to 1, that is equal to log n minus log 1, that is log 1 means 0, that is equal to log n. Limit n tends to infinity log n means that is equal to infinity only. And here this implies integral 1 to infinity f of x dx is divergent, hence sigma n is divergent. Therefore, sigma n convergent if p greater than 1, diverges if p is less than or equal to 1. This is the last slide. Okay, thank you for everyone. Tomorrow we continue the next class. Thank you.